237.
Yes.
I just watched it last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking bananas.
Yeah, that's bananas. The connections between Kubrick's The Shining and the moon landing and all the hidden stuff that he did, all the Easter eggs, including the little boy with the NASA shirt on, the Apollo shirt on.
Apollo 11 shirt on. And then the key to the room 237 said room in, instead of NO 237, it just said room in 237. So you could, bro, I mean, I am like.
What does that mean?
So like if you take the letters ROOM and then N, you can recombobulate them to say moon.
Oh god!
Right? Like there's so much dot connecting in that documentary. It's absurd. There's an absurd level of dot connecting that just is unreasonable. But the stuff about the moon though, like the kid wearing the Apollo 11 shirt, right?
The number of the door is the distance from the Earth to the moon.
Yes.
In miles.
Yeah.
Thousands of miles.
Yeah. I think it's like 1,000 miles short.
Yeah.
And then like also the psychological trauma, the scenes with Jack and his wife saying like, don't you know what a contract is? Where he's like living his double life and he's like arguing with his wife and talking about contracts and secrecy and all this stuff. And then you know there's so many weird things, and like the ball rolls up to Danny on the carpet and then it cuts back to him while he picks up the ball and the carpet shape is different. There's so many like strange Easter eggs in there.
What's that supposed to signify?
I have no idea. It's just like either that movie has like an insane level of like continuity errors or he was doing something.
Oh, he was probably doing it on purpose. You know, Kubrick in his spare time would do complex mathematics. In his spare time. Yeah, he was a legitimate genius. And it's amazing that he pulled off the greatest science fiction movie of all time, especially at the time, during the exact same time period where the moon landings were filmed. And the stuff from 2001 is more sophisticated, looks better than the stuff from the moon landings. So like, the idea that you couldn't fake it, it's like, yeah, that guy could fake it. 100% he could fake it.
Right.
And if they hired him to fake it, if they brought him aboard, the idea that he wouldn't be able to keep secret, like, of course he could.
Right.
Yeah, people keep secrets. This idea that people can't keep secrets because some people can't keep secrets, like, listen, high-level military guys keep secrets all the fucking time. They go to the grave with those secrets. Yeah, they swear to secrecy. They swear to an oath. You know, they have top secret clearance and above and whatever it is, and they don't say shit forever. Their whole fucking family doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about the, like, if you think the moon landing was fake, you're a moron. But it's like, the thing about it is, even if you want to say they did to go to the moon, wouldn't it be reasonable to suggest that they would have had a backup plan in case they couldn't get there? Like, like have some sort of video footage that they shot? Or
well, not only that, they filmed a lot of training footage.
Yeah.
They definitely tried to pass some of that training footage off as legit. That's proven. Like the Michael Collins from Gemini, I forget what mission it was a spacewalk. So there's an image of him that was in training, and you know he's got the suit on and the wires, and he's working with the spacesuit that you use when you're actually in outside of the capsule or whatever the fuck they call it. And what they did was, from the training mission, they just blacked out the exterior of the same photo and reversed it. So they switched the photo the other way, it's the exact same photo, and they tried to pass it off as Michael Collins on the spacewalk. Because you got to think, like, how are they taking pictures? Who's going to take the picture of them out there? This is part of the problem with, I think it was Apollo 12 or 13, whichever one it was, where they got the footage of the lunar module leaving the moon and going back towards the orbiter. And it looks so fake. It looks so fake. It looks so ridiculous. There's no plumes of fire. It like, how does it have the power? Where's the engine?
They use car batteries, right? On that thing, allegedly. That's what Bart Sibrel says.
It's still 1/6 of Earth's gravity. It's still a significant amount of gravity. It's not the same gravity as Earth, but how does that thing like shoot off into space? Like, that's nonsense. It looks like it's being pulled by strings.
Yeah.
And the camera, which is operated, remotely, pans perfectly to catch it. Like, shut the fuck up. And how are you getting that footage? Like, what are you doing? This is 1969. You're on the phone with Richard Nixon from the moon. Are you out of your fucking mind? Is this supposed to be real?
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. I think we can all agree that eating highly processed food for every meal isn't optimal. So why is processed food the status quo for dog food? Because that's what kibble is, an ultra-processed food. But a healthy alternative exists, the Farmer's Dog. They make fresh food for dogs. And what does it look like? Real meat and vegetables that are gently cooked to retain vital nutrients and help avoid any of the bad stuff that comes with ultra-processing. And it's not just random ingredients thrown together. Their food is formulated by on-staff, board-certified vet nutritionists. These people are experts on dog nutrition, and they're all in on fresh food. The Farmer's Dog also does something unique. They portion out the food to your dog's nutritional needs. This ensures that you don't overfeed them, making weight management easy. Research shows that dogs kept at a healthy weight can live up to 2.5 years longer. Head to thefarmersdog.com/Rogan to get 50% off your first box, plus free shipping. This offer is for new customers only.
Right in the middle of Operation Paperclip, MK Ultra, the Cold War, all the fucking deception that was going on, all the secret.
They lied about everything.
That was the time in history where they probably had the most fucking lies.
Vietnam War. They lied about everything.
Kennedy.
So the idea that they didn't lie about this one thing, the moon landing, was all 100% legit. Meanwhile, you've got intersecting shadows. You've got all sorts of problems. You've got the weirdest one is Neil Armstrong's 25th anniversary speech that he gave at the White House. That one's so crazy. We have here among us America's best and brightest. You will achieve great things. Great, but once you reveal some of truth's hidden layers.
Once the hidden layers are uncovered.
What? How about just say I went to the moon 25 years ago? Like, what is all this cryptic talk?
That was the only time you ever did a public talk, I think about it.
Well, the other thing is the post-flight press conference. The post-flight press conference looks like these guys have a gun to their head. It looks like a hostage video. It looks so weird.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, they were nervous. They just got back from the moon. Bro, look at Katy Perry. She went basically a little bit higher than an airplane, and it was like a life-changing experience. She's holding up a daisy. It was amazing. I feel so connected to Mother Earth. You know, like, these guys would have been ecstatic.
Yeah.
The idea that they would have been nervous as if they've been forced to lie. They're behaving. Like, behavior experts have looked at that footage and said these guys are being deceptive.
Yes.
Particularly Michael Collins. There's also inconsistent things with what he said during the post-flight press conference right after flying in comparison to his 1994 book.
Change the story, right?
Changes the story about being able to see the stars. What were the stars like? And he's like, I don't know.
Don't remember
I don't
that.
recall seeing any stars. And then in the 1994 book, he talks about how amazing they were and incredible. The footage that Sabrell acquired that shows that it appears that they covered up the windows to make this deceptive film that looks like they're far into space. That's a weird one, man, because I can't find any rational explanation that's like, I tried to look at it like as objectively as possible, because I've gone back and forth on the moon thing. Like, at one point in time, I thought I'm just being really stupid. Like, of course they went to the moon. Everybody would know about this. And then over time, like, I joked about it in my comedy special, like, after COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. But that's kind of true. Like, once I saw the level of deception that was willfully pushed forth during COVID and how many people were cooperating with this, and like how many organizations, government organizations were cooperating, knowing that they lied, knowing that these were lies, I'm like, yeah, they can lie about all kinds of things. And this is today with the internet, you know? Like, look, where's the Epstein files? Can't find them. Don't exist. Like, they can get away with shit, man.
Yeah.
And the idea that they couldn't in 1969, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. They could fake that. It'd be easier to go to the moon than it would be to fake it. Shut the fuck up. No, it wouldn't.
Right.
Not if you physically can't get a human being through the Van Allen radiation belts without them dying. They never even flew a chicken through those fucking things and had it come back alive.
Russia flew a dog, and it came back and died 2 days later, I think.
But they didn't even go to deep space.
No, just I think they just went into the belt and then did a U-turn.
Bro, no one's even been close.
Have you seen the I'm sure you've seen this, the photo of Jolly West hanging out on the set of 2001 Space Odyssey?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No. Oh, that's amazing.
Should I send it on?
Fuck yeah, send it to Jamie.
Oh my god.
Do you have his number?
No.
Here.
But you could probably Google it. Probably
Yeah,
not that
see
hard
if
to
you could
find.
find it if you Google it.
Yeah, just Jolly West, Stanley Kubrick, 2001 Space Odyssey. It's a photo of them walking between the sound stages, and it's a wide shot of a bunch of dudes.
Listen, man, of course there's
That's
Kubrick.
not it. That's not it.
Of course they would contact Kubrick if they wanted to go to the moon and fake it.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're in the middle of the Cold War, which they were, which was very terrifying.
Right.
Right. When I was a kid, when I was in high school, we were terrified of Russia bombing America.
Yes.
Everyone was like really concerned, and Russia was the great enemy. You know, the video of Khrushchev yelling, "We will bury you," like that was like burned into every American child's mind. And if you were a patriot and you wanted to defeat Russia, we have a strategy to defeat Russia, and this is what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to bankrupt them by just making them spend to keep up with us. And they don't have a capitalist society, so they don't really have a GDP. They have a GDP, but they don't have like the same sort of corporate structure that we have in America, where they're like striving and innovating and developing new things. The companies are getting bigger and there's more growth. And no, they're communists. They were a communist country, so everything was like food lines, and they didn't have the kind of money that we have. It wasn't even close. So Reagan essentially bankrupted them. And then, during the time, and, all the other people before him as well, but during the time where they were developing these rocket ships, the Russians were way more advanced than us. And basically every single thing. They got to space first, put the first man in space, put the first satellite in space, and they couldn't even come close to putting a guy on the moon.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's incredible also that there was never another nuke that was sent to anybody after Fat Man and Little Boy.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It is really insane to think about sometimes.
Yeah,
And,
that's one of the great achievements of human beings. That we did it once and we said, let's not do that again.
Annie's book about nuclear war just scared the living shit out of me, bro.
Oh my God, yeah, it's a good one.
How she said that we have 11 interceptor missiles in the U.S.
That's it.
A total, I think it's 11 or maybe 22, or no, it's 44.
And Russia has 5,000 missiles.
Yeah. And the problem with it is, like, if a rogue nuke got launched from North Korea from one of their submarines, it would have to fly over the North Pole, right, towards us. And as soon as they launch it with all of our satellite systems that we can detect the rocket burner, like, going into orbit, we'll know within 5 minutes of them launching it, probably before. And then we literally have to, I guess, like, the way she described it was, our policy is once that nuke is launched, we have to empty our silos, our ICBM silos, because they're stationary. They can't, if they're hit, they're gonna try to take us out at those ICBM sites. That's gonna be like one of their first targets. So it's use it or lose it. You have to launch all those ICBM nukes, and then we have to fly those over the North Pole, over Russia, to hit North Korea. And it takes like 11 minutes. So like you got to get Putin on the phone in 10 minutes saying, yo, these nukes aren't coming for you, bro. They're going for Kim Jong-un.
Oh my God.
And then by that time, it's like, if you don't have like perfect communication amongst all these world leaders, everyone's going to be launching nukes.
Well, you know the story about that one Russian military guy that was the reason why Russia didn't launch a retaliatory strike, because there was a
submarine guy?
Error. Yeah. There was an error, and they thought the United States had launched a missile towards Russia, and they were ready to respond. Wow.
That's Jolly West in the background, bro.
It's unconfirmed if it was him. I don't know if anyone confirmed.
That's, if you can find a young
Zoom
photo.
in on him. Zoom in on him.
I did.
Let's zoom in on him right here.
I saw the video where someone was talking about it.
That's him, bro.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? You don't know.
I haven't.
Jamie works for the government, by the way. Jamie's CIA.
I'm just saying. I don't
Look at
know.
that. That's 100% him. Look at that picture. Now go to the other picture you just showed. That's him.
It's Jolly West.
Yeah, that's him, dude. I mean,
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, that is 100% him. That's the exact same face. Shut the fuck up. Jamie.
Find another one. Corroborate it.
That's all. I'm just trying. I don't think.
Out of all the people that I wish were alive that I could talk to, Kubrick is number one on that list.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. First of all, he made some of the most impactful. Well, I would like to talk to Jolly West too, if people will. Fuck. Be a few people.
Dude was everywhere.
Yeah, that looks like him, Jimmy. Yeah, it looks like him.
It doesn't look like that guy.
Look at that guy. Look at the far left photo.
Bro,
it
that's
seems pretty close.
Jamie, that's him. Shut the fuck up.
Hairline's identical. Look at the hairline.
Jamie's a party pooper. Jamie's a total party pooper.
I'd like to. I want good evidence. There's a little part right here on that guy's head, and that guy's got.
Oh my God, he
part.
combed his hair different. Crazy.
That's.
I hate when facts don't line up with my theory.
The part in the second one is exactly the same.
Yeah.
That one right there is exactly the same.
that is.
He started losing his hair and he started doing a little bit of a comb over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, man, that guy was one of the biggest pieces of shit in the history of the United States government. What he did was nuts. Just the fucking Manson stuff was nuts. The MK Ultra stuff was unbelievable. And imagine you could do all this stuff. No one's investigating you. No one even knows. It's all completely top secret. Congress has no idea you even exist in this realm. And they were running around doing like...
Yeah, I was talking to Hamilton about it. I'm like, dude, isn't that crazy, all the stuff they were doing with MK Ultra? Hamilton's like, no. Of course those guys were doing that shit.
Who's Hamilton?
Hamilton Morris.
Oh, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, of course.
He's like, of course they were doing that, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if you have some unique compound like LSD and, it gets to, Hoffman discovers it, and then they start experimenting, like, what can we do with this stuff? And then you find it has profound effects on the human mind. Of course you're going to try to use it for mind control. They had already experimented with all sorts of techniques in regards to doing it with prisoners, like taking prisoners and trying to figure out, like, what kind of sleep deprivation, what psychological techniques can you use to extract information from them. So if you had something like LSD, of course they're going to try that. Makes sense.
Yeah.
They were doing it way back in the 50s in the UK with those British soldiers. I'm sure you've seen that video.
No, I have not.
You never seen that?
No.
They dosed up these soldiers with acid and then had them go out in the field and do these training routines, training exercises.
No
and
shit.
they couldn't do it. You see if you can find the video. It's hilarious. They were just laughing so hard they couldn't perform. Like, some of them were able to do their duties and other ones just fell to the ground. They were just laughing and rolling around the ground. Like, this is them. This is 64.
These guys are high on acid.
Is that what it says, Jamie? Did you just make it smaller again so you could see it? Yeah, 64. Royal Marines. So look at these poor guys. The men begin to relax and giggle.
What the fuck are we doing here, bro?
They probably didn't even tell them, and this guy freaked out. He had to be removed. He's holding that lady's hand. I love you. I think you're amazing. We're all connected. God is real. There is no death. And then fucking, he's aiming the missile. He's aiming this cannon. Look at these people.
Yeah.
Note the bunching indecision as they enter a wood. Almost immediately, the section commander tried to use a map. He couldn't read the map. They're just tripping balls. Oh my God. It's so funny that they try. Look at their smile on their face. These guys got his hand over his head like, what is going on, man? And then it's supposed to be doing these exercises. Radio communication
guy,
become
dude.
difficult, if not impossible. He's like, fuck this.
Unfucking real.
Look at him. This guy's just laying down, laughing, having so much fun. I try to chop a tree down using only a spade. No, their sense of responsibility in spite of physical illnesses. But 1 hour into...
Imagine what they're doing now.
Those guys are dead.
There's yeah, the DARPA, that DARPA grant that went to University of North Carolina to figure out how to take the psychedelic trip out of LSD, I think it was.
Yeah.
They're trying to make super soldiers, right? They're trying to make them so they can, this is what I've heard, is that they are trying to make them more effective on the battlefield.
Right.
With things like edge detection.
Right.
And also coming back, like get back out there, like take them through the process, let them recoup and get right back out on the battlefield. To where, if you could get all the benefits of a psychedelic without the trip,
right,
would you get those benefits, and would it be useful for soldiers in combat? It's an interesting idea.
Well, the Vikings took mushrooms, and the berserkers, they would take mushrooms before combat. Yeah. I mean, it does make sense. It really does. It doesn't make sense to us because we think of mushrooms as like, hey man, I'm going to go connect with God and it's going to be peaceful. I'm going to lay in a field. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to reset and come back and tell everybody I love them. That's what mushrooms are to us. But if you live in an insanely warlike culture and you believe it's right to go to battle and you're supposed to go to battle and Odin is on your side, and you take these mushrooms to summon the strength of the gods and to prepare yourself for battle. And I know a lot of guys who fight on mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah. Like Joe Schilling talked about it on the podcast. He took like a small dose and was sparring and then fought a few kickboxing bouts that way. He said he could see what guys were doing before they were doing it. It's almost like he could, and Joe Schilling's a world champion, like an elite kickboxer. like one of the best ever. And so for a guy like that to say that it had a profound effect on him, he knows his body. Like he's battle hardened. He knows the difference between regular fighting and fighting on mushrooms. He said he could see, he could almost like know what they were going to do before they did it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
There's this dude who's like, I heard about Dana Beal, who's flying Ibogaine to the troops in Ukraine, to the Ukrainian troops, trying to get those guys on Ibogaine. And meanwhile, the Russians are on, what's that meth drug? There's like a new age meth that they're on.
There's a new age meth?
Yeah, there's a new version of it.
The new version of what the Nazis...
It's not Pervitin. It's like a new version of it. It's like a little bit tamer. But,
like Adderall.
Yeah, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Visible. I want to let you in on something. Your current wireless carrier does not want you to know about Visible because Visible is the ultimate wireless hack. No confusing plans with surprise fees, no nonsense, just fast speeds, great coverage without the premium cost. With Visible, you get one-line wireless with unlimited data powered by Verizon's network for $25 a month, taxes and fees included. Seriously, $25 a month flat. What you see is what you pay. No hidden fees on top of that. Ready to see? Join now and unlock unlimited data for just $25 a month on the Visible plan. Don't think wireless can be so transparent? So Visible? Well, now you know. Switch today at visible.com/Rogan. Terms apply. See visible.com for plan features and network management details.
Maybe like super Adderall, but
Adderall. Do you know how
it's
many
working.
million prescriptions of Adderall given in this country every year?
Gavin McInnes told me before I came here, I was like, got any advice for Joe Rogan? He's like,
Yes, Gavin McInnes.
he said, slam 3 beers and eat an Adderall. I was like, no, bro.
That sounds like what he would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came. Did you ever see the time he came in dressed like Michael Douglas?
Yeah, of
walking
course.
down.
Of course.
Walking. What is it? What was the movie?
I forget the name of the movie, but yeah. That
Where
was
he freaked out. Michael Douglas like had enough.
Yeah. No, he slams beers 24/7. He's constantly drinking Budweiser.
Yeah.
I've never seen him without a Budweiser in his hand. It works.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, he's a smart guy. Yeah, he's a funny guy too. He just the Proud Boys thing was just. If he had never done that, he would be like a famous commentator today.
Yeah.
Like you think about like Steve Bannon, all these other guys, like he's way funnier than any of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's very insightful. Like he's right about a lot of things. He like picks up on trends and culture and sees where people are going and he was aware of like the dangers of Marxism and a lot of this fucking ridiculous leftist ideology that they were pushing in universities like way before anybody else was.
Yeah, there was this documentary that just came out all about him from one of the guys, Thomas, that used to work for Vice. He was like one of the original reporters for Vice. He did all like the early stuff, and he made this documentary all about Gavin, and it's like focuses on the transformation from like early punk rock, like liberal Gavin in the UK with like the Mobs and the Rockers, to like the current Gavin, which is like, you know, he frames him as this like this super right-wing racist dude. And you know, I was asking Gavin about it because he came on the podcast recently, and he's like, I've always been the same. He's like, he was explaining that his views never changed. He was saying that like Vice all of a sudden was getting infused with millions of corporate dollars, and I wasn't a good look for that. They didn't want me in there. But meanwhile, he was like the whole soul of Vice. Like if there was no Gavin, there was no Vice. Like all the controversial do's and don'ts shit, and like all those controversial articles about like trans shit early in like the early 2000s that he was doing was funny, and like culture didn't look at it the way it looks at it today, you know.
Well, he was being attacked for things that are like openly discussed today, like the dangers of trans ideology, and that these are just men, and a lot of these men are doing it because they're perverts, and so they're autogynephilics, and you know, autogynephilia is a real thing. It's men who get sexually aroused and pretending that they're women, and they want to go into women's spaces and be sexually aroused. You know, now people are saying that openly, right? Like, what was the university that Leah Thomas was swimming in? Penn? Okay, so they have to take away all of, air quotes, her gold medals. It's a guy, like, has a penis, has sex with women, supposedly, according to Tony Hinchcliffe. That's my number one source of news. But he actually has a bit about it. It's really funny. But the university now has to apologize to all the women that were forced to compete with him. and say they fucked up and never do it again, and not allow biological men to compete with women, which is like, it should be that should be a left-wing perspective. Not that you shouldn't be able to be trans. Of course, you should be able to do whatever you want. You know, I'm for you doing whatever you want if you don't hurt other people.
Right.
If you really believe you're a woman, and look, if you can get fake tits and you can get fake lips and you can get a dick enlargement and like, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. I'm covered with tattoos. I've made stupid decisions. Like, do whatever you want to do. But when you're competing with women, you are essentially victimizing these women. You're forcing these women to compete with men who've been through puberty, and in this case still have a functional penis, like, which is fucking bananas. That's a man. And just because you think you're a woman, you physically, we know there's a difference. I didn't know it was a giant problem until there was that fighter, Fallon Fox, who had competed twice against women without letting them know that this person was a biological male for 30 years, fathered a child, the whole deal. I'm like, this is crazy. And that his response was, it's a medical condition, so I don't have to disclose this. You know, it's medical information, which is just horseshit. It's crazy. And when I was saying that, I got attacked like over and over and over again. I go, whoa, this is from the left. Like, the left has no problem with a mentally ill man beating the shit out of women. Falsely claiming that they're not even allowing these women to know. These women think they're going to go compete in a low-level MMA fight. Like, a lot of them didn't look good. They didn't look like they were well-trained. And they're competing against a biological man without having any idea. One of them got a fractured skull. You know, it's like, that's when I would realize, like, oh, this is just a cult. This isn't the left that I grew up with. You know, I grew up with parents that were hippies. And so, like, my whole life I was left-wing. I felt like that was the only way to be. But when you see the left allowing this bizarre loophole where perverts can pretend to be women, compete with women, fight with women, beat them up, be in their locker rooms, walk around naked with their dick hanging out, no one can say anything. Like, how did they switch? How did they flip it on its head? That, like, at any other time in history, if a man had a penis, was walking through a young girl's locker room, you'd be in real fucking trouble, rightly so, because that's not a thing that you should want to do. That's a weird thing to want to walk around naked with your dick hanging out in front of a bunch of women. That's a creepy sexual thing, period.
Yeah, unless you're like Nero, you're not doing that.
Even Nero.
Sick fuck. But like, another thing Gavin was pointing out to me, he showed me this New York Times, or not New York Times, this Time magazine cover from like a couple months ago. And it was all about how tomboys are going extinct. You've seen that?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, because they're turning them all
They're
into boys.
cutting their tits off and turning them into boys.
Cutting their tits off and then giving them fake dicks. I was watching this operation today.
You watched an operation?
I watched, excuse me, I should say this. I was watching a video on the post-op. So I saw images of the operation. That was enough. But it was this poor person who decided they wanted to pee standing up. That was all they wanted from this fake dick. So they have these enormous scars on their leg where they take a giant chunk of flesh out of your thigh and roll it up and make a penis out of it. And they had to do it to both legs for some reason. Maybe one of them didn't work real well. But
how old was this person?
They sounded young. They didn't show their face. You know, it's fucking insane because a lot of these people, unfortunately, are autistic, and then there's this other factor when you give them testosterone, it does alleviate anxiety because all of a sudden, you know, you have this new hormone in abundance in your system. And you feel different. You feel better. You feel more confident, which is like the same way men feel when they have more testosterone. It's like, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is who I was all along. Like, no, you're taking a fucking compound that's forcing your body to change. Like, this is not who you were. You're not affirming your identity. You're doing something that's altering your hormonal structure and turning you into a man. Like, it might feel good, but this is not like your true self. This is crazy. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to do it. If you want to do it, if you're a woman and you want to take testosterone and be a man or be more manly, I feel like, I don't know if it's the best decision for you, but I'm not you. And I believe in freedom. I believe in 100% human freedom as long as you're not hurting other people. My beef with it is like it translated into them invading women's spaces. And, you know, that's crazy. That's crazy because you leave the loophole for perverts. There could be a lot of them that are legitimately trans people that feel like they are in the wrong body and they want to live their life as a woman. And when they live their life as a woman, they feel healthier. They feel better. They're happier. and also crazy people. And if you don't have a way of determining who is just a pervert who just wants to hang out in the women's locker room and show everybody his dick, and who is a legitimate person with gender dysphoria. And that's the other thing that, like, Tucker had a really good point about this. He said if someone has anorexia, you don't tell them, yeah, you're fat. Yeah, you're fat. You're right. You're correct. Even though you look like a skeleton, you need to lose weight. No, you tell them you're mentally ill. This is incorrect. You're not overweight. In fact, you have body dysmorphia. You can't see what you really look like, which we know is a real condition. Like, it's a real condition with anorexia. It's even a real condition with bodybuilders. It's a real condition. A real condition when people get plastic surgery, where they get crazy lips and crazy cheeks, and they can't see it. They can't see it. They can't see themselves. It's nuts.
They turn themselves into like all
Monsters.
these girls looking like Jar Jar Binks walking around downtown.
They look like monsters. They look like monsters. And it doesn't look good. And they keep tweaking and fucking with it. And they can't see it because it's a mental illness. It's the same kind of thing. Like, the human mind is incredibly fragile. That's why Jolly West was fascinated with trying all these MK Ultra techniques and different compounds on people's brains, because human people can be manipulated, like, very easily, shockingly easily. Not all of us, right? Like, you and me are probably pretty skeptical. There's a lot of skeptical people out there, but there's a bunch of people that are not skeptical at all. They're super gullible, and when an ideology forms, they step in line and they follow that ideology verbatim to the line. They'll repeat the things that they're supposed to say to the line, because they think that's what they're supposed to do in order to be in the good graces of this community that they find themselves in. It's a fucking cult. And there's a shit ton of cults. It's not just the Moonies. It's not just, whatever, fill in the blank. It's all sorts of political ideologies. It's MAGA. It's the far left. It's the people that are cheering for this guy in New York City that's a communist.
Yeah, didn't he just promise a bunch of money for transition surgeries?
Yay! Hooray! Yay! Yeah, it's nuts.
Government-run grocery stores and all that stuff. But he didn't win yet. He won the primary.
He's gonna win, dude. He has 100%, because the other guy is the fucking Guardian Angels guy. The other guy is Curtis Sliwa, the guy who wears the goofy beret.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the guy who won the Republican side. Nobody wants to be a Republican mayor of New York City because they know they can't win. So they're not, like...
This guy's to the left of Bill de Blasio.
Oh, he's way to the left, yeah. And he's young, and he's energetic, and he's saying all the right things for all these kids that are in the streets, that are protesting. They think they want to make the world a better place, which, hey, I would have been doing it with you if I was 20. It's all the same thing, man. It's all the same thing. You can get indoctrinated into a particular way of thinking without being objective about what's actually going on. All these people that are, like, just running through the street now saying free Iran. Like, yeah, free Iran from a dictatorship, absolutely. But if you're saying, like, wear scarves over your head and being forced to do what the Iranian government wants you to do and live like they live over there, no, they don't live free. Like, they assassinated the fucking Olympic gold medalist in Russia, in wrestling rather, in Iran, because he was protesting against the government. Like, those are, like, national heroes, and killed them openly. Like, it's not a good place to live. And I'm not saying we should bomb them, but, like, being in support of Iran, the Iranian people, yeah, for sure. But that government is nuts, man. It's like, trans people for Hamas. like, you know what I mean? Like, there's people that are just, they're not seeing what you're talking, they're not seeing the big picture.
Yeah, there's so many contradictions out there, man. It's really hard to follow it all.
It's because it's a cult.
And and I think a huge amount of the Iranian population supports Israel too. And it's like, you would never fucking know that unless you, like, talk to them or listen to some of these interviews of these people.
A ton of Persian Jews that moved to Los Angeles. That was like at the fall, I guess it was in the 70s when, so this is the story for people that don't know about